essentially create products through specialization and division of labor that allow for communities to create collective art and to bridge towards the creation of technology so that we can reflect on this moment by being able to view it from a displaced perspective that exists within a simulation, not so unlike the simulation that our own minds create.
Ah, so we're inside of a simulation! It's all revealed! It's a simulation!
Yes.
It's a simulation!
And so we might be tempted to say that simulation is, you know, some sort of like farcical thing that's distant from ourselves, in the same way that you might be tempted to say that inorganic chemistry does not pave the way to the organic chemistry.
Oh, but it does! It's all the same!
Beings create the technology, and so the technology is just an extent of the artifact of our ability to concretize this extrasomatic knowledge that we've been able to structure into self-replicating patterns, which themselves are means that suit the creation of technological apparati which facilitate their own development exponentially. And I believe Eli was talking yesterday about Moore's law and the ability of
Moore's law!
Essentially twice the amount of transistors within an 18-month period.
Yeah.
And so now as technology continues to exponentially accelerate at a stage faster than human beings were able to crystallize their use of technology, and the century that preceded the exponential expansion, and before with some of the rudimentary tools that happened hundreds of thousands of years ago and then millions of years ago for the evolving of us, and each time it just gets faster and faster, and so we're now in this moment inside this technological simulation that exists within this video recorded beach that is projected onto the retina of the being who could ask themselves the question, is the sky beyond the skull? Is the water beyond the skull, or is the skull beyond the water? And is the water beyond the screen, or is the screen beyond the water? That's within the mind that perceives the screen and the water and the sky. Okay, so in the same way,
she has a question.
Yeah.
Do you remember the question?
Yes.
I'm just rambling.
I have a question.
That was rambling? That was like spoken word. Like there was like a beat to it. And
Yeah, this is it's turned into something, and it's continuing to turn into something.
Just to wrap that up, I would say, like, after the supercellular level and the ability to code information extrasomatically to create the technological blood-girdling society that we now experience as this technological reflection of simulation of the stages that came before it, this bridges us perhaps not so much divergent from the course in which self-replicating molecules were able to bump into each other enough times to create, through negentropy, through the pattern of life, that which gives harmony and universal order to us and to all the living beings on the planet that have arisen naturally as a product of the celestial climactic forces and geothermal expansion that exists within this ecological planetary cell that exists beyond humanity as a larger cellular organism, which itself has a homeostatic processes. For instance, within the oceans, there are microbes which regulate cloud cover such that it can maintain a precise salinity of 3.5 degrees, which is not unsimilar from the way that the human body maintains a homeostatic mechanism of sorts. And so we have the planetary cell, and then within that planetary cell, it revolves around the nucleus of the solar system, and the sun is likely an extension of all of it in a manner that increasing consciousness is generated from the inorganic entropic processes that eventually crystallize into order and fractaline beauty through the formation of these larger organismic units until the sun, we conceive once more of the human mind to be the bridge between the physiological and the psychological, the neurophysiological platform between us and mind, then is not the electromagnetic activity that's happening on the sun far in excess of any of the complexity of the electromagnetic activity that happens within our brain in a giant fusion reactor process of nested sunspot vortices.
Holy fuck!
Complete magnetic polar reversals at precise points with orbiting bodies in time that regulate rhythmically its own electrochemical that may not be so unlike what we conceive to be the most complex matter in the universe, which is the human mind, which only can apprehend itself and make statements about itself in that regard. Case in point. And so I kind of see the whole Zoom as bridging to some sort of like a universal telos that exists above the sun, above the galaxy, superclusters of galaxies, and so on, and extending down through the microcosm in both directions and containing within itself As above, so below.
As above, so
All
below.
exists.
Alright, I have a question for you. That was incredible.
This has to go on your website.
Yeah,
Cool.
you're a fucking genius, and that's what we do around here. We orchestrate genius at Collective Expansion. So, what
Questions?
I do, my question for you, and it's very important.
Sure.